you only give half your effort to your accounting firm, okay, it's still not appropriate. But all the other areas are one level. But again, in the world of teaching, in the world of being a Rebbe, one has to make sure that they give it their all, they get enough sleep, and are able to be that role model for the children. Continuing, if anybody has questions about, it's a great story. Have I told you this story? Have you heard this story about going into chinuch or not? Right, Tzvi Hirsch Weinrib. You might have heard this story before. Tzvi Hirsch Weinrib worked for the OU. He's a Rav in Baltimore before, very famous rabbi, and in America. And he says that when he was in his a young rabbinical student, about 30 or so, and he was studying to be a psychologist, which he also is, and a rabbi, he wasn't sure whether to devote his whole life to psychology or devote his life to the rabbinate. So he called up the Lubavitcher Rebbe at the time. That's when he had a friend who was the Lubavitch Chassid. He wasn't. He said, call the Rebbe. The Rebbe gave advice to a lot of different people. So he said he called up. I heard him say this. I think it's online somewhere. You could hear the story from him. He said he called the Rebbe, and the secretary of the Rebbe answered. And he said, what do you want to ask the Rebbe? He says, I'm not sure. He says, who are you? I'm a Jew. I'm a Yid who needs help. A Yid who needs help. Okay, what do you need? I'm trying to figure out whether to go into Rabbanis, whether to go into psychology. I'm trying to figure out exactly what I should do. So he hears the secretary on the phone tell the Rebbe this in Yiddish, this question. And the Rebbe answers the secretary in Yiddish that tell him that there's a Jew named Weinrib in Baltimore who's also in rabbinate, in psychology, and he should talk to him. Try to get some advice. So the secretary said, there's a Jew named Weinrib in Baltimore that you should talk to, the Rebbe said. Rabbi Weinrib, who was on the phone, who was that person, he never said his name. Never said his name, where he was from. So he says to the secretary, Ich bin Weinrib. Ich bin Weinrib. Like, and then the secretary was like in shock for a second. And he tells the Rebbe, dude, it's been Weinrib. He's on the phone. Like, how did you know? So the Rebbe didn't miss a beat. The Rebbe said, okay, maybe then he should start talking to himself a little bit more. That was the Rebbe's message. Sometimes we got to sit and talk to ourselves a little bit more. We just rush through things and don't always take things out, but that's Rabbi Weinrib's story about the Lubavitcher Rebbe. He said, I'm a Yid from a Yid calling with help. He says, there's a Jew and there's a Yid in Baltimore named Weinrib you should talk to. Anyway, amazing. I mean, the Lubavitcher Rebbe had some powers, but that's an amazing. Anyway, why am I saying this? But when we think about what we want to do with our lives, we got to figure out how best to help the Jewish people. And if it's in the world of chinuch or the rabbinate, that's obviously a tremendous profession. The Rambam says, maybe one more halacha, in those days, it was not tznius to be able to be a Rebbe if you weren't married, because a lot of the women used to bring their little kids to drop off, and there was a lot of interaction. Again, it's based on society. And the same thing the other way. Either way, Lamaisa should be in an appropriate and safe environment. How big should a class be? Let's do one more halacha. What is the optimum number of students in a shiur? Now, in Rav Asher Arieli's shiur now in the Beis Medrash, there's, 1,000? I don't know how many, what's the optimum? This isn't talking about Beis Medrash. This is talking about elementary school. 25. That's the number. Says the Rambam, 25 to 40, he could have an assistant. Once it's 40, you can't do it with one and a helper, and you have to have two. Again, smaller, obviously the more personal attention, one should always recognize that these halachas are not halacha Moshe Sinai's, they're depending on society. So at that time, again, based on Chazal also, this was a good number Chazal assumed. And again, there's obviously messages from that ability. You have to just try to make sure that everybody's getting the attention they deserve. Okay, 2 more halachas before we get to the major parak about the godless of Torah. Okay, so let's get back into our sugya that we've been talking about. I hope you got to see some of the marmakomos. If not, you'll see them after. Let's just finish up first the mitzvah of kavura. Good. So everybody okay? Everybody good? Looking around, making sure everybody's good. All the different time zones that we're seeing, and hope to be able to learn with everybody in person very soon. I don't know what very soon means, but in God's Baruch Hu's world, He's outside of time. So whenever that soon is, whenever He deems it fit, we daven for the day. So the mitzvah of kavura. Mitzvah of kavura, we spoke about a couple of questions already yesterday. What's the root of it? It's not just chesed. Like Rav Shechter pointed out, it's not just chesed because it's not societal. There aren't any shibudim that are created based on the societal norms. And the Rama holds daraisa, d'Rabbanan, all the questions that we dealt with yesterday. So we came up, quoted Rabbi Sement's idea from the Mitzvah Samelach, that there's something deeper based on the Medrash, Elaf or Tashuv. It's not just about the chesed from the barrier, it's about the guf. The body demands burial. The body demands burial to go back to its roots, to go literally, right, to go back to where it came from. That's what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants. That's the mitzvah d'oraisa of kavura. And maybe we said, even in an extreme formulation, maybe it's even the mitzvah is on the person himself. Right? It's not on, it's not chesed. Iker cholim is not on the chola. Achanat Zarchim is not on the oreach. Maybe kavura sameis, the mitzvah is really on himself. It's just that usually a person can't bury themselves. Moshe Rabbeinu buried themselves. Maybe the people in the desert buried themselves. I didn't read that yesterday. I wanted to read that. You didn't get to see it. That Rashi in Maseches Tainus. Right, that sugya in Tainus. Remember, that's the Tu B'Av sugya. The 6 reasons the Gemara says that we're happy on Tu B'Av. So the Gemara there says one of the reasons is that the Meisei Midbar stopped dying. They stopped dying. Kalu Meisei Midbar. On Tu B'Av. How do they know they stopped dying? The question I'm not going to deal with now is, they all died already. What do you mean Kalu Meisei Midbar? It's kind of like when Rabbi Akiva's Talmidim stopped dying. There was none left. So obviously, is that a deeper celebration? Okay, that's not for now. But Rashi says, Kalu Meisei Midbar. Rashi quotes in the Brisa, Kol Arbaim Shana Shal Yibam Midbar. Kol Erev Tisha B'Av. Haya Kruz Yotzei. The Omer Su'u Lachpor. Very spooky. Erev Tisha B'Av, right, which already was the day. At that time, what were they mourning on Tisha B'Av? What happened on Tisha B'Av? What was the first event that happened on Tisha B'Av? Somebody?
Meraglim.
Meraglim. The Meraglim happened. So that was the anniversary of the Meraglim. That was the anniversary of the Gzeira that they got stuck in the Midbar. That was probably a very sad day every year. Very sad day. So on every Erev Tisha B'Av, the announcer said, everybody go dig a grave. They dug their own grave. And they slept in it. Oh, man. Shema Yamas Kodem Shiachbar. They slept in it. Kodem Yamus Kodem Shiachbar. Ulomachar Hakruz Yotze Vikar Yibadu Achayim and Amesim. Kol Sharebo Nefesh Chayim Aya Omed V'Yotze. The Kol Shara Yotze kid. Every year they did that. And then the last year they did it, everybody got up. So what they think? Maybe they miscalculated. So they did the next day. They did the next day. So they came to Tu B'Av. By Tu B'Av, they knew they didn't miscalculate. How they know? Full moon, right? So therefore, they made that day as a celebration. But what do you see from there again? There's something about burying oneself. Again, usually it's not possible. And maybe that's the idea, another idea behind the mitzvah of kavura, not just chesed, but about the connecting back, closing the ma'agal, and returning the body to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And if that's true, maybe that's what our Gemara is emphasizing. The Gemara about burying kever she'enu shalcha, so that is something that the most appropriate is when we return to our own place. That's where we're returning towards. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created us from our own spot, and Hashem, we are returning, doing the best we can to return to our own spot. Okay, that was all one idea, burial. We wanted to end the sugya with two other ideas. One is the idea, the language of the Ran. And so the Ran that we saw in Sanhedrin Daf Mem Vav, we ended off with this yesterday, uses the lashon of geniza. Geniza. If you bury in the ground, ein lecha geniza gedola mimena. There is no greater geniza of what is lignoz? It means hidden. There's no greater geniza gedola mimena. What is that? What does that remind us of geniza? So geniza is used, as we mentioned, when it comes to what we call shemus, or what officially is called geniza. Right? When one has to bury articles of kedusha. This is the Gemara in the Brisa in Megillah on Daf Chavav. But the Brisa is machalik between two categories of objects. Categories of objects, Tashmishe mitzvah and Tashmishe kedusha. What does one? I just got a WhatsApp yesterday, a picture of a Sfiras HaOmer calendar. Is this shemus? That was the question, right? So there's a big shaila about how, what's the standard of geniza. But the Gemara says certain things for sure are shemus or geniza, and certain things are not. What are shemus for sure? Mezuzah, Torah, tefillin, right? Anything connected to those. The Gemara says, just the Gemara's examples, the examples that the Gemara gives are Dulus Kimei Svarim, the containers, right, are the bag of the Sefer Torah, right, the cover of the Sefer Torah. Tefillin umezuzas v'tik shel Sefer Torah v'nartik shel tefillin, the bag of the tefillin u'ritzu otseyen. All of that is Tashmishe Kedusha. While the other list, Tashmishe Mitzvah, the examples given, Sukkah, Lulav, Shofar, Tzitzis. What's the difference between the two? Sukkah, Shofar, Lulav, Tzitzis versus the others, is it connected to the Ksav of Torah? Anything connected to the Ksav of Torah, or is Ksav of Torah, that's what we call Geniza, and that requires to be buried. Right? A Sefer Torah that's worn out, a mezuzah, or anything that directly services, right? Tashmishe Kedusha, right? The cover of the Torah, the container of the mezuzah, that's shemus. It's tefillin bag, it's tefillin boxes that you wrap in, that's shemus, that's geniza. What about a talis bag? That's not, even if it has tefillin in it. If it's not specifically used for tefillin, so then it's not Tashmishe Kedusha. Again, one might just say, you know what, you might as well. Put tzitzis. Sometimes people say, put tzitzis and shemus, you might as well. The answer is no. Don't you might as well. That would undermine then the Kedusha of what you do have to bury. Not a question of just being machmir. Being machmir to add more things in is then undermining the unique quality and sanctity of what you do bury. So by tzitzis, for example, right, after Tashmishe Mitzvah, tzitzis, shofar, sukkah, after you use that for the mitzvah, it has no more Kedusha. If you could use it for another mitzvah, fine. Like by a lulav, the minhag of Klal Yisrael is to save it to burn with the chametz. And many children think that, we're burning the lulavs. There's a mitzvah to burn lulavs. There's no mitzvah to burn a lulav. No mitzvah to burn a lulav. We're using the lulav to burn the chametz. There's a mitzvah to burn chametz. Once you use it for one mitzvah, then there's an idea, there's a minhag. There's a minhag to use it for another mitzvah. Or the maharil. The maharil, 500 years ago, did not have these stickies. All right, what are they? Sticky guys. Right, the maharil didn't have these. All right, so what did he used to use? Old tzitzis strings. Old tzitzis strings. He says, an old tzitzis string, use it for a bookmark. Use it to hold your spot in the sefer. That was what he had. Again, technically, those are not buried. Somebody has tzitzis that are worn out, put it in a plastic bag and put it in the garbage. You don't have to put it into the kitchen garbage. Maybe that's a bizayon. But it's the regular garbage. You're allowed to throw out any Tashmishe Mitzvah, Tashmishe Kedusha have to be buried. Yeah. Naftali.
How exactly is a tefillin bag Tashmishe Kedusha?
If it services the tefillin directly, so then it is a tashmish of kedusha. If it goes directly for it and it is miyuchad for it, the tefillin bag is servicing the tefillin, and therefore that is tashmish of kedusha. There are some shilas. Yeah.
Isn't it just holding the boxes, which are the tashmish kedusha?
No, but it's first of all, it's
the actual parchment.
Right. First of all, it's still direct. If it's miyuchad for it, then it's considered one unit. And I would add the straps. I just lost your picture. You still there? Still see me? Everybody sees me? Naftali just got frozen. But you hear me, Naftali? I think he's, at what was I going to say? The added point is that the straps themselves have kedusha. Because the straps we use to write some letters too. We have a yud on the strap, we have a dalet in the back of our head. So the straps themselves have kedusha. Anyway, again, that's the fill-in. Some things aren't clear. Let's say the cover of the bima. So does the Torah touch that? The Atzei Chaim go on the bima and the like. But it's not 100% clear. Just 1 second. Give me 10 seconds. I'm sorry. At home here. We're talking about tashmisha mishra, tashmisha kedusha. So again, some things are not so clear. What about the cover of the bima and other things? But in any case, what does this have to do with us? So there is a beautiful thought that's suggested by the Kolbo. It's in the Rishonim. In the Rishonim, the Kolbo I gave you says, maybe that's what kfur is all about. That's what kfur is all about. Just like you bury tashmisha kedusha, the human body is tashmisha kedusha, and that's why it has to be buried, because the human body held the neshama, and the neshama was. You don't get a greater, comparison. You don't get a greater Torah. Akfuras meis mitzvah gedola ad. I think I gave you the kolbo on the chat. I think it's there. He says, "Chulu chibav furas hamesu l'shnei tamim mo'echad al derech midah tova." We got so much hana from the guf. Moshe Babet Torah l'lamed midah tova. Both the type mitzri kigera yisav arto. The Gemara even says you can't push away Egyptians for more than a few generations, because hey, they at least gave you a place to live. The Mitzrayim. What about your body for your guf? Do not make the body disgusting after the nefesh. It housed the nefesh for 120 years. And then he adds, here's the line. Like tashmisha kedusha. That's unbelievable. Maybe that's what kfura comes from, and that's what I gave him from Rav Shechter. Where is that? Why is it tashmisha kedusha? Maybe it goes back to that learning in the womb, in utero, in the Gemara and Nida. If we actually learn Torah when we're alive, amazing. And even if there's a Jew that never learned Torah in his life, still, maybe there's a mitzvah of kfura because of that. That's what Rav Shechter writes in Eret HaTzvi. I gave it to you on page Sadi. Afilu b'Yisrael shu am haaretz. Lo asak b'Torah klal kol yamav. V'kol makom kaim avan b'dizman t'avlad b'me'ima ulam v'no so kol Torah kula. And then he's caused to forget it. But why is it? Right? It's a famous question on that Gemara. Why are we taught it if we're going to forget it anyway? Why are we taught it? We have to forget it because we have to earn it. But why are we taught it in the first place? What's the answer? According to this, it's to create every Jew as a tashmish of kedusha. That's who we are. Like a Sefer Torah. You ever hear of this halacha? It's an amazing halacha which usually is not used. Usually it's not used. There's a Gemara in Brachas. Gemara in Brachos. What happens? Let me see if I can find it in the Shulchan Aruch. Sorry, I forgot. Let me just find it for a second. This comparison of a person is like a Sefer Torah. So the Gemara says, just find the Gemara. I think it's on Mem Zayin. Yeah, Mem Zayin. Let me just find the, let me see where it is in Shulchan Aruch in a second. It says. I don't know if I'm not going to look for it now. But the Gemara talks about there about what if there's only 9 people for a minyan? The Shita of Rabbeinu Tam. That holds. Okay, give a Sefer Torah or a Chumash to a child, and he can be the 10th man. You hear that? You ever see that done in practice? Right? They ever been to Tom? It's hardly ever done. Well, I can tell you an actual story. I didn't witness it. It was in 1956, but a little bit before my time. But my wife's grandparents lived out, those are familiar with New York, out in Long Island somewhere. They were not from. Binyamin Kamenetsky, who was my dean in school, Rav Yaakov's son, he made them from. He made them move to Woodmere, to Cedarhurst, and he started the Young Israel of Woodmere, which is today the largest Orthodox shul in the world, about 1,200, 1,300 families. But my father-in-law was the first bar mitzvah in the Young Israel of Woodmere when it was still in a house. And he remembers Friday night, they couldn't get a minyan. Now those in Woodmere, how many thousands and thousands of Jews there are there, they couldn't get a minyan on Friday night. So my father-in-law remembers when he was 12, Rabbi Kamenetsky gave him a chumash to hold. Be considered number 10. Be considered number 10. So again, what's that? What do you mean? Oh, the chumash, you number 10. What is that? What does that do? What does that do? Well, if you can compare a Jew to a sefer, right? There's genisa, there's kavura. So then that's a connection, right? You're not using. You have to have somebody hold it. You can't just use, the 9 plus the Sefer Torah. You got to have something alive about the 10th. You're getting a minyan. But again, it's fascinating. But again, that's the Kobo. That's what the Kobo says. It's relating. But again, it's hinted to already in the Ran, using the lashon of Geniza, and every Jew is Tashmish de Kedusha, learned out from the Torah that they learn in utero. So again, I'll take the question in a second, Yaakov. The beauty of this idea is that it is also an approach to Kfura that has nothing to do with Chesed. It's about the body itself. It's about the guf itself. Right, what's Kfura about? We've had 3 ideas. Number 1, it's a basic Chesed, Gemilas Chesed, part of the Mitzvah D'Rabbanan that the Rambam says. The second idea is what we said yesterday, that the guf ton Kfura, the guf needs to be returned to its owner, so to speak. And the Skirat Ma'agal, closing the circle. And this third idea about Tashmishe Kedusha, and that's where it needs to be buried, just like a Sefer Torah needs to be buried, and all the connected accoutrements of the Sefer Torah. Yaakov, yeah.
2 things. One, actually, Joseph and I, we learned Mishnah Berurah together. We started that halacha yesterday, so it's pretty good timing.
Okay.
Also, and number 2, yeah, I myself once, but I was numbered 10, but I was 12 years old, so it didn't really affect me much. But I was holding a chumash. Does it make difference? Chumash? Oh, yeah. Okay,
so you had it in Lamaisa also. Most of us have been pampered and grown up in places where there was no problem getting a minyan. I know Shlomo, I don't know about West Bend, but most of us, grew up in other places that it was more common that we didn't need it. The Kobo does mention one other point, which again is a beautiful idea, and that is another idea related to Kvura, South Bend. South Bend. Yes, it's something Bend. South Bend. I know I'm a aretz about Indiana geography, but I apologize b'fnei Am v'Eda. But South Bend, Indiana. Okay. Anyway, so the Kobo has another idea related to Kvura, and that is it's a siman of Emunah of Tchias HaMesim. Right? Those Rachmana litzlan who believe in cremation are basically saying, done. This world is it, and this is finished, and there's nothing more to look forward to. The fact that we bury, says the Kobo, this is on Kaf Ayin Daled, the second page of the Kobo that I gave you, it reflects Emunah. הטעם השני הוא החזק והצריך לאמונתנו בתחיית המתים. כאילו היו משליכים גוף האדם, המס. If we treated the body just like a piece of dead carcass, the animals, people, it seems like we're preparing for something. You dress it, you put on special clothing, whatever, shrouds. Do a lot. What do you mean? Just throw me in the ground. It's over. It's done. No, it's not over. It's not done. And that's what the Torah demands. And that's also, by the way, right after we bury, we say a special Kaddish that we only say at a Kavura and at a Siyum. You just need to think about what the connection between those two. A special Kaddish, we talk about Tchias HaMesim. So, what does that have to do with Yerushalayim? Siyum, good, but every burial has that too, because every burial is a reflection of Tchias HaMesim as well. So, 4 ideas about the mitzvah of Kavura, but again, it all started with our Gemara about being nikbar b'kever she'eino shelcha. Okay, any questions about that? No? Okay, so let's move on. Let's start our new topic. Again, let's get into the hatzchala of it, and then we will continue. Okay, here we go. We move on now to the next part of the parak, which we're skipping to. Kuf Chavav Amabez. Kuf Chavav Amabez. Oshir Klali on today? Anybody for the topic? I'm not what? I don't mean to put anybody on the spot. I just want to ask. Just the topic, you know what they spoke about?
They started the Mishnah. Yeah.
What was the topic? Do we know? Do I know?
It was a different approach, though. It was many different sources.
Okay. No overlap. Okay. Okay. Again, the topic that comes up here on Kuf Chavam Beis is a large one, but it's a fascinating one. Fascinating topic that comes up in 2 or 3 places in Shas, and it starts right here. Omer. What does the Mishnah say? Everybody with me? Ellie, you with me? You have the Gemara. Kuf Chavam Beis. Here we go. Omer. Ish Ploni B'ni B'chor Lo Yito Pishnayim. Man does not want the Yarshin. Right? This whole parak has been about Yerusha. So if the man says, well, I don't want my son to Yarshin, sorry. Or I don't want my B'chor to get Pishnayim. Ish Ploni B'ni Lo Yirashem Echav. Lo Omer Klum. Yehisna Mashakasav Torah. He was masne against what the Torah says. You can't do whatever you want in life. If you're a believing Jew, and you want to change certain things cannot be changed. Can't be masna mashkas Torah. Right? You can't make a t'nai that you're allowed to do something on Shabbos that's also to do on Shabbos. This is similar. It's not the exact same idea, but it's similar to not outside of the world of t'naim. This is masna. But you're also not allowed to make a shvua against something that is in the Torah. That's the sugya. It's in the Darim. Mushpa va'omed mehar Sinai. Again, you might have been thinking about that. Like if you make a shvua that you're going to do something and it's against halacha, make a shvua that you're going to eat on Yom Kippur. That's not chal. It's not a shvua. It doesn't work. Mushpa, you already took a shvua that you're going to follow halacha. So this isn't exactly the same. But this is about a t'nai. You can't make a t'nai against something that it says in the Torah. Torah. Fine. Then, if you want to give it as a present, you can. But if it's Mishum Yerusha, lo amar klo. Good. Masa Masakash Torah. Before we get into the Gemara, I gave you, I'm sorry, I just sent it out today. I gave you a Yad Ramah to look at right here. Yad Ramah right here, it's in the end of Os Vav. He has a simple kasha. You can't go against what it said, and this Yad Ramah just relates back to our previous topic. That's why I was very excited when I saw it yesterday. If I would have known it, a week ago, then I would have put it in the other packet. Ask the Yad Ramah. So how did Yaakov Avinu not follow the halacha? Not allowed to be mashved the bechor. What about Ruvain? What about Ruvain? Okay, Yosef was a bechor. Okay, come on. He was, but bechor le'imo. But how did Yaakov not give Ruvain a double portion? Okay, Esav sold the bechorah. You want to say, okay, that's a separate shaila. How could you sell a bechorah? Maybe we'll talk about that one day. But ask the Yad Ramah. If somebody says my bechor should not get a double portion, imkain, ask the Yad Ramah. Yaakov Avinu nami ki amar leila Ruvain achas kamayim al tosar mayahanile. Says to Ruvain, achas kamayim, or means against the Mishnah. How could Yaakov Avinu do that? How could Yaakov Avinu do that? Asha. Behold, Matzi Amrit Nami, Lagabi Echad, Bakam Bas, Mas Bakam Ben, Lo Amar Klum, Baksiv Ephraim Menashe Kiruv Shimon Yuli. You want to skip? There are Yarshim. You're going to add in other Yarshim, Ephraim and Menashe? Why is that? How do you do it? How do you do it? And he goes through different possibilities, how the Kinyan worked. It wasn't even a Kinyan, he just said. He didn't even do a Kinyan. Where's the Kinyan? We learn in this parak that somebody on their deathbed wants to give a gift. We allow it to be given without a kinyan. That's a much later din d'Rabbanan. That's a much later din d'Rabbanan. It didn't exist in the days of Yaakov Avinu. What's the answer? Even if you didn't see this, you tell me, what's the answer? What do you think the answer would be?
He was a guy.
Oh, you might say he was a guy. You might say he didn't have to follow halacha. The problem is that he seemed to follow a lot of the other halachas. We didn't have to, but here he's violating. Okay, he also married 2 sisters. So if he can marry 2 sisters, he doesn't have to give the bechorah to Ruvain. Okay, marrying 2 sisters is much worse. But again, he had a certain, nevuah, so to speak, that is what he had to do. So maybe here too. So maybe that's one answer. Like we know elsewhere, there are other mafarshim that say that even though they kept Kol HaTorah Kula, if there were specific ones that they weren't supposed to keep, they knew. So then they followed those, exceptions. Followed some exceptions. But there's another answer. Yeah, Yaakov?
I don't understand. What did Yaakov give over? He gave brachas to them, and then Eretz Yisrael, which could have been divided, was divided by Hashem and Yehoshua. What was that to do with Yaakov? He took away a double portion from Ruvain, and he gave it to Yosef. But he didn't give anything. It's not like he gave clothing or money.
Shchem Echad, the portion in Eretz Yisrael. He gave a double portion to Yosef. What is the answer? Ella Kodem Matan Torah Shiny V'nitna Torah V'nischat Sha'alacha. Now we know what that means. He says it's exactly the opposite of our problem before. What we discussed in the last sugya. Don't learn anything from before Matan Torah. What's he saying? Don't learn anything from after Matan Torah. Just because after Matan Torah you weren't allowed to change around the rules of Yerusha doesn't mean that before Matan Torah you weren't allowed to change around the laws of Yerusha. It's exactly the same principle, but the exact opposite application. Because here we're trying to explain something from before Matan Torah. He uses our lashon. He says, don't ask me any kashas from this, but this is before Matan Torah. Again, Kodem Matan Torah shiny. The Nitna Torah is Chad Shalach. Again, borrowing that Gemara in Shabbos. The Rambam, if you remember, borrowed that for Hilchas Avelos. The Yad Ramah is borrowing that for Hilchas Yerusha, right here. Ahachi Nami Mistavra. That he says, this is exactly answers the other question that we asked. The Lote Machi, the Rishonim are bothered. How did Yaakov Avinu buy the Bechorah? To Davar Shelo Bala Olam. It's not in the world yet. We showed him deal with that question. It's not tangible. How did Esav sell it to Yaakov? Many different beginning of Parshas told those. It's a big discussion. My Kanye the Bechorah to Esav Davar Shelo Bala Olam who Ella Ma'isla Cholamemar Kodem Matan Torah Shiny Lachanami Kodem Matan Torah Shiny. So it's the exact same principle, but it's in the opposite direction, right? Nitna Torah. So before the Torah was given, different halachas, different rules, and therefore Yaakov was able to buy it, even though it was Davar Shelo Bala Olam, and that's why Yaakov was able to transfer it and, so to speak, violate this halach. That's the Yad Ramah. Here's another answer. Eli, yeah.
Doesn't the Gemara say in like the Kovchaf areas that a Bechor has a tefisa on his Bechorites even before they do the division of the Bechor?
So again, that might be only post Matan Torah. Once there's a din that you're not allowed to switch, so that's because of, and that creates the tefisa that the Bechor has. There's another answer given by the Sfarno. Again, these are the Rishonim, the Sfarno. The Sfarno in Kiseitse says, remember the Psukim, what's the pasuk in Kiseitse that you're not allowed to not give the double portion to a Bechor? Right, remember the Psukim, Kisyan Alish, Shtein Hashim? I don't know much by heart, but it happens to be my Bar Mitzvah Parsha. So Kisyan Alish, Shtein Hashim, Achas Ahuva, Achas Nuah, Yodu Lo Banin, there was one woman he likes, one woman he doesn't like, so just because you like the mother better doesn't mean that you can take away the Bechor from the son of the Snua. And the Sfarno says, Lo yaver Bechor ben Aben b'shvil sinazo o avazu. Just because you love or hate the mothers more, you can't switch. But, says the Sfarno, avalim yaseh b'sibas rishas haben ha-Bechor az ra'oi lahavir. But if there's something problematic with the boy himself, not with the mothers, but with the boy himself, so then it's ra'ui lahavir, and it's appropriate. Ramzal, like it says later on in our parak. Remember this. Look for a moment. Do you remember the Gemara? To look at the Mishnah. What does the Mishnah say? What you did is fine. You did. If you give away all your property before you die, matana. It works, but the rabbi's not happy about what you did. If your kids aren't, acting properly, that's a good thing. So it's very scary. But that's what the Sfarno says here. Yaakov Avinu. And that's what he thinks Yaakov Avinu did to Reuven. Reuven did something. The Gemara in Shabbos says that he didn't do what it looks like he did. Right? But he did something. So whatever he did, that's why Yaakov took away the Bechorah. So if that's the reason, then even post, you don't have to come up with Nitna Torah V'Eschat Shalacha, right? You could just say that it is because of the rishus of the son. That is Yad Ramah and the Sfarno. So look up that Yad Ramah. It's on our Mishnah right here, the crucial Yad Ramah. Okay. Now let's get back to the Gemara. Just a few lines of the Gemara. Ready, back in the Gemara, Kuf Chaf Av Mabes. Ephraim, you with me? Everybody's with me. Dov, Levi, Jonathan, Eli, Zakai, Yosef, Nathanael, Avram, Eli, Aaron, Yehuda. Did I forget anybody? Shlomo, Avrami, Mikey. I got everybody. Good. So Lema Masnisan, the local Rabbi Yehuda. Shall we say that our Mishnah is against Rabbi Yehuda? Our Mishnah that says, if you're Masa Mashkas of Torah, it's no good. It's against Rabbi Yehuda. Because Rabbi Yehuda would say it should work. Why? Dear Rabbi Yehuda, Because Rabbi Yehuda says if it's monetary law, then it works. You might not be a great tzaddik, but it works. Rabbi Yehuda says by Darash Mamot no Kaim. What's his case? Titania, the Brisa. Omer leisha. The man says to a woman, Almanas, that I have no chiyuv to support you, I have no chiyuv to feed you, I have no physical obligations to you. It's no batel. Meir says, you're married, mazel tov, you're fully married. Tonight is meaningless. It's no batel. That's her Meir Shita. The Torah says there are obligations of the husband to the wife. So you can't just say, I'll marry you, Almanas, that there are no obligations. That's Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, the Davar Shal Mamon Sno Kayam. Rabbi Yehuda says, no. The Mamon, the physical rights, the Ona, that you can't get out of. But the Mizonos and the other elements, you can. So what do you see from the Brisa? Rabbi Yehuda, by monetary law, even though it's going against what the Torah wants you to do, the Torah wants you to support your wife, the Torah wants you to feed your wife, it works. It works. So is that against our Mishnah? Because in our Mishnah it says by Yerusha, it does not work. You can't make it t'nai. What is the assumption of that question of the Gemara?
That Yerusha is Dine Mamanos.
Beautiful. Beautiful. The assumption of that question is that Yerusha is Dine Mamanos. And that's why the Gemara asks. So the Mishnah must be against Rabbi Yehuda. Because Rabbi Yehuda says by Dine Mamanos it works, while the Mishnah says by Yerusha, which the assumption of the Gemara is that it's Dine Mamanos, it doesn't work. So now let's read the answer of the Gemara. Whenever you read a question in the Gemara, it's always crucial to try to figure out the assumptions, because then when you read the answer of the Gemara, the question is, have those assumptions been rejected? Or do we still have those assumptions and, there's another answer, right? So it's always like this Gemara, that assumption screams out. Our Mishnah is against Rabbi Yehuda because he's by Maimonides. He's assuming that Yerusha is Dini Maimonides. Answers the Gemara, which on the surface is not a bad assumption. Yerusha is about money. So we'll have to see. We touched on this a little bit in the Hagdama for this parak. But what does the Gemara answer? One more line. Afilu tema Rabbi Yehuda. No, the Mishnah could even work for Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda who says, in the case of the marriage, a man wants to get married, almanas, that he doesn't owe and he doesn't have to feed his wife. Right? So Afilu tema Rabbi Yehuda. Hasam yada kamachla. He over there, Rabbi Yehuda by the marriage says it works because the woman knows about it. She hears, right, I'm not going to support you, and she's mocheles. But marriage has to be done only the acquiescence. A woman can't be forced to get married. So in the case of marriage, she hears the Tanai and she accepts the Tanai. Yadav kamachla. Hacha. Here by Yerusha, lo kamachil. Here by Yerusha, lo kamachil. What does that mean? How would you translate the words lo kamachil? And that's the secret of how to understand this line of the Gemara. How does the Rashbam understand it? Let's see the Rashbam. Asam kamachla, fourth wide line. Asam kamachla. Shalmanas kain kibla kiddushin. The woman by marriage accepted the kiddushin. And through that hana'ah, she'd rather be married. She'd rather be married and not be fed. That's good enough for her. Let's read the Rashbam and then you tell me how he understands the line of the Gemara. Aval hacha mi machil. Is he mochel? Is the son mochel? The b'chor? Mahana yesh lo leben sheyimcho. The woman is married. He had some hana. The son How does he get? By losing his double portion. The kafalpi sheshasaka ben, even if the ben didn't say anything. Ein zu mechila. That's not called mechila by not saying anything. In a road, he doesn't want to get his father angry. That's why he didn't say anything. What does it sound like from the Rashbam? What do the words hacha lo kamachil mean? In the case of the marriage, he was mochelas. That's why Rabbi Yehuda says it works. Over here, lo kamachil. What does that mean? Somebody help me out here. What does that mean? What does lo kamachil mean?
He still wants it. It's not
a good mechila.
good for him.
Meaning it's not a mechila that we would think is honest. According to the Rashbam, what if we know 100%, he takes a lie detector test, and we know that he is mochel b'leiv shalem. He's a multi-billionaire. He doesn't care about getting the double portion, and he wants to give it to his brother. And he's fine that his father gives away the double portion. What if we know 100%? Would it work? What does the Rashbam sound like?
Work.
Sounds like from the Rashbam that it would work. According to that understanding, then, it seems to be not such a fundamental difference between the cases. Right? It's just that here there was mechila and here there wasn't mechila. If there'd be mechila here, it also would work. If you look in the Rashba, if you look in the Ritva, I didn't give you this, but maybe for tomorrow, they say no. It doesn't, according to Rashbam, what does it mean? Lo kamachil, he wasn't mochel. He wasn't mochel. How else could you translate those words? Lo kamachil. Not he wasn't mochel, but somebody tell me. How else could you translate those words?
But he
Not that
can't,
he what?
he can't.
That he can't be mochel. That he can't be mochel. Not just that he wasn't mochel. That he can't be mochel. The question is, why can't you be mochel? Why can't you be mochel? So if you look in the Rashba, again, I didn't put it on the list, but for tomorrow, look in the Rashba, the Ritva here, they both say that there's a good reason he can't be mochel, because he doesn't have it yet. He can't be mochel something that you don't have yet. Right? This relates to, Eli, what you said before about the tisa of the Bechor beforehand, but they both say, the Rashba, I'm sorry, not the Rashba, maybe the Rashba too, but the Ritva, for the Rashba, I'll read it to you from the Ritva. He says 2 points. Napirsh Taiti Kamar, Shane Daito Limchol, the Gam, number like the Rashbam, he didn't want to. The Gam Kishahaya Rotse, Eno Yachol Limchol. Shane Adamocha Mashena Shalo. The person can't be mochel, he doesn't have yet. Doesn't have it yet, he can't be mochel. So it's fascinating. What does this line mean? Lo kamachil. Let me ask this question. According to either the Rashbam or the Ritva, did we change our assumption of the question or not?
No. Doesn't sound like it because it's still, because you still have the discussion of mechila, which only would work if it's dine mamenos.
Pashtus is, exactly, I agree, that they both assume it is dine mamenos, but either there wasn't mechila or there can't be mechila for a monetary problem. You don't have it yet. I'm not going to say it now. I'll tell you where to look. Look at the Rambam. Look at the Rambam. Nachlos Vav Aleph. Rambam Nachlos Vav Aleph and the Meiri right here. You tell me how they understand the Gemara differently. The Meiri quotes the Rambam. Rambam's like, I don't think he quotes the Rambam by name. Look at the Rambam and the Meiri, and it's very exciting because they have a totally different understanding of this line, and that will open up our eyes. Let me just end with the question that we're going to be dealing with over the next day. Then Yaakov, I'll take the question. The question of the Rishonim, here and in Ksubis Nun Vav. The most important makar, make sure before tomorrow's shir, you see Tosfos and Ksubis, Nun Vav Amad Aleph. See that first makar, right? The first 20 lines of the Tosfos. You don't have to turn over the page. Just go till fourth to last line on Amad Aleph. The question is, let's say the Sheriksus, even Rabbi Yehuda says, share line, Rabbi Meir. A man goes over to a woman and says, I am a Kodesh I'm Manas, but I don't have to do A, B, and C. So what's the halacha? What's the halacha? You're married and you have to do it. Ask all the Rishonim. Hopefully you saw some of it already. Second, the guy only has das to be married if he doesn't have to do this. So let's say he can't make it t'nai. That I don't have to be physically with you. So you can't make it t'nai like that. What should the halacha be? What should we say? You can't do that. And therefore what? And therefore go home. You're not married. You can't try to be married like that. That's not what the halacha is. What's the halacha? You're married, tough luck. And you have all the obligations. How is that allowed? He had no das to be married without this. He was masal mashkas b'torah. He did something wrong. So therefore, what should we say to him? We should say, you can't do that, and therefore go home, you're not married. No, but what do we say? You're married, and it's tough luck. And you have to do all the obligations. He never had such das.
No, but
he's married.
But he did have das to be married, just because he made it t'nai, and
that
has a separate issue, but he had das to be married.
Okay. Is that a separate issue? A man goes and says, I'm married to you on condition that I do not have to support you. That's what I said. And if I'm going to have to support you, I am not interested in being married. That's basically what the t'nai is. I'm married to you, almanas, this.
No, but once we say...
Let's say a t'nai that works. I'm married to you, almanas that it rains tomorrow. If it doesn't rain tomorrow, we're not married. The t'nai wasn't fulfilled. So here, we're married, almanas that I don't have to do this.
No, but...
Halach is tough luck.
In that case, it's to know batal, and then don't we say it's as if he didn't say it, and then all we have is a statement, Harei Mukadeshesli.
Well, we're going to have to figure that out, because really in the person's das, we would assume, this is the question of the Rishonim, he doesn't want to be married if he has these obligations. If he doesn't want to be married without this, then how are we forcing him? How could we say Maisa Kayim and Snow Batal? That's the question. Look at the Tosfos inside. That's the question, the Ramban and others. 3 different answers we're going to see in the Rishonim. Why is the halacha Maisa Kayim and Tno Batal? Why don't we just say the whole Maisa is Batal? That is the sugya that we're going to be focusing on. Okay? So I guess we'll stop here and tomorrow pick up again 5 o'clock.